Greetings and happy holidays, folks. I hope you're having a good holiday. I know that I am. Depending on what holiday you celebrate, or even if you don't, have a great December. I know that the winter solstice is coming up, so if that's what you're into, that's fantastic. But I did want to say that we got a great beer here. This is actually comes from my next door neighbor. Her family lives in Pennsylvania, and her dad came by and brought this beer a while back. And it really isn't that bad. I like it. This is Straub Lager from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. And so when she goes and she comes back, she brings me a six-pack every now and then, which is really great, and I really appreciate it. But we're going to find out what makes this beer tick, and we're going to do it on... Alrighty, folks. So we are going to learn and drink and review Straub Lager from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. Again, my next door neighbor, her father, brought some over, and it actually wasn't bad. I was rather impressed with it. I would kind of say it's more or less like a Yingling, in its taste. I mean, it's a good beer. It's a beer, okay. I am going to say, yeah, it's kind of middle of the road, but if you remember a while back, I did the Narragansett, which I just said was just a beer. You go to a pizza restaurant, you order a pizza, you order a beer. It's just a beer. It's just a plain beer. Well, this is sort of like that, but it actually has a little bit different flavor to it. And I like to have a little bit of a surprise. I actually like to have a little bit of a something that makes it stand out, even if it's just a little bit. And I think this one does. So we are going to get into it very quickly here. It is coming up during the day here, so I kind of need to get going on it. What I've got is, I've got the Straub, I've got my tumbler. I'm just going to use just a standard tumbler here. Nothing special. And we're going to crack into it. I'm going to see if I can have you hear this. And it's only available in a small area in Pennsylvania, so I don't think you're going to find this out and about. But if you happen to be in the St. Mary's, Pennsylvania area, definitely look them up. Let's see if we can hear this. Oh, very good. Yes. A little bit more of a exit of the gas than I thought. I'm going to put my little ornament right here, my little cap, because I like to decorate that. Now, remember, we are going to be judging this on the 5 categories: the aroma, the appearance, the taste, the mouthfeel, and the overall impression. And this time I'll do it in order and not jump ahead. Anyhow, so let's go ahead and get pouring on that. It is a rather light beer in terms of its appearance. It's very, very light. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit more head to it. Now, when I poured this into my glass before, it actually came out to have a little bit more head. I don't know what's up with this one, but that's fine. That's fine. It kind of reminds me of a Pilsner, okay? Even though it's not a Pilsner, it doesn't have that Pilsner taste to it. It has a little bit, it's kind of leans towards that, but it's not really a Pilsner, I wouldn't say. But it is very light, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a few seconds here. So let's get into the appearance in a minute. So the aroma, okay? Now, first smell isn't that bad. I can actually smell a good amount of nice base malt in there. Just kind of let you know, whenever they brew a beer, they have a thing called a base malt. Base malt, it makes up the largest portion of the grain bill. 2-row or 6-row barley that they'll take, and that's going to be one of the main ingredients to be able to produce the conversion of the starch into sugar. One day I'm going to do a Beer Knerd session on, the fermentation, or actually the conversion process, some of the brewing processes. I may take one aspect of brewing and say, this is how this works. This is how this gets done. Oh, a little cap fell off, but that's okay. All right. Happy little accident there. Channeling Bob Ross. Anyway, it has a good malt smell. And I can smell some of the hops too. It's almost like a sweeter, maltier smell. Very, 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 very clean smell. It's got, like I said, it's very clean, finished here. It's very light. So I'm thinking it's just going to be just base malt. That's pretty much it. Let's take the barley. Let's convert it to sugar. Let's drain off the wort, and then let's ferment it. And from there, let's filter it or lager it and produce our nice clean beer. But the aroma, yeah, does not disappoint. I mean, it's got that little something to it. Okay, it's not just beer. I mean, it's got a great, like I said, almost like a candy flavor to it. So now we've got the aroma. Let's look at the appearance. I'm going to zoom into this as best as possible. I'm actually going to move it back a little bit. This is what it looks like. So it's incredibly light. I'm going to say the SRM is somewhere in the vicinity of 2, maybe 3. It's not the lightest one I've ever seen. It could be even a 4, depending. But I'm going to say conservatively a 2 or a 3. Okay. Very clear, gin clear. Okay. I mean, sparkles whenever you look at it. It's got some nice bubbles on the bottom. Okay. You've got the bubbles coming up from the bottom. You didn't have much of a head. Okay. I didn't pour it very well. I guess I should have poured it straight in. But the head is still sort of there. Okay. I don't have any Brussels lace at the moment. I may still have that coming up shortly. But that's what it looks like. Okay. Now, let's do the taste. Again, it's very clear. I've got bubbles coming up from the bottom. I would love to see this in a restaurant. Like I said, a pizza joint, a pizza restaurant. I would love to see it there. Bear in mind, I've had these before. Very wonderful base malt flavor. Almost like a Pilsner, almost like a Molson or something like that. Maybe a Foster's, perhaps. Okay, so if you're into Foster's, it's kind of like that. It's not overly flavorful. Okay, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say it's about a 5, maybe a 6. Okay, it still has a good amount of carbonation in there, which kind of explodes in your mouth, gives you a little bit of that, a good nose in there. It's a lot better than the Narragansett. I mean, I hate to say it. Narragansett was good if you're just going to sit there and eat something with it. If you're going to eat clams, if you're going to eat pizza, if you're going to eat a hoagie, if you're going to eat something like that, I mean, Narragansett was fine. Okay, it's just going to wash everything down. This, I would say, if you're going to have a good pizza at a good restaurant, or if you want to produce something, maybe some chicken, okay, this would go perfect with it. How about that? And from what I understand, it's also economical enough that you can go out and buy a 6-pack of it. You're not going to spend an arm and a leg, like you would with a Yingling. You're just going to get it. You're going to buy it. You're going to drink it. You're going to have friends over. You don't care how many they have. It's pretty much it. I mean, it's not like you're going to buy an expensive beer and say, well, you can only have 1 or 2 of those because, well, that thing was like $20 a 6-pack. It was incredibly expensive. No. This one's going to be something you're going to have with friends. You're going to have them over. It's a cookout beer. I mean, come on. But it's also a very good one. Like I said, it's kind of on par with Yingling. It's got that special something. It's got something Yingling doesn't have, and I think that's very important. And I can taste a little bit of the hops in there too. Not much, but a little bit more of the hops. So yeah, I would say it'd be like a Molson or something like that, or a Foster's, just the regular Foster's, not the premium. Or perhaps, Yingling Premium, which I've not had yet, and I don't really know if I'm going to want to have that. My understanding is that's not the best that Yingling produces. But anyway, so the taste, now the mouthfeel, it's clean. You've got that carbonation in you that is going to clean your mouth. It doesn't sit heavy. Again, this is one you can eat with pizza or chicken or hot dogs or hamburgers or something like that. or chicken wings or something like that, and you can really enjoy it. It's not going to overpower that food in the same sense with that mouthfeel. Again, very clean. Lovely there. Now, overall impression, would I get it? If you can find it, get it. Just enjoy it with friends. I mean, pretty much it. Cook out, stuff like that. Sit around the house, watching a game. Get a 12-pack of it, get a case of it, whatever. It's going to be economical. It's going to be fantastic for you to just have around, okay? Like I do with Yingling. I buy a case of Yingling, and I'll go through it in a week or two or something like that. And that's just my lawnmower. They're good lawnmower beer, for that matter, okay? Anyhow, that's our basic review of Straub Lager from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. Glad you could be here with me for that. Now, we're going to learn a little bit more about Straub here, and we're going to do it on
Straub Lager. Style: American Pale Lager. ABV 4.1%. SRM 3. IBU 8. Hops: Apollo. Malt: Domestic two-row and caramel. Yeast: North American Lager. So for this episode, I mentioned 2 different types of barley used in brewing: 2-row and 6-row barley. Each has their specific characteristics and uses in brewing. Barley, a fundamental ingredient in brewing, comes in 2 primary varieties: 2-row and 6-row barley. These varieties differ significantly in their structure, taste, and application in the brewing process. 2-row barley, as the name suggests, has 2 rows of seeds on its head. It's characterized by longer kernels that are larger and more uniform in size compared to 6-row barley. This barley variety tends to have a higher starch content and lower protein content. Brewers often prefer 2-row barley for its 1. Enzymatic power. 2-row barley tends to have a higher diastatic power, or having the properties of diastase, especially converting starch into sugar due to its lower protein content. This enzymatic power adds to the conversion of starches into fermentable sugars during the mashing process, crucial for brewing. 2. Milder flavor. It typically imparts a smoother, slightly sweeter taste to the beer due to its lower protein and enzyme content. 6-row barley, however, contains 6 rows of seeds on its head. It has smaller, plumper kernels that are more irregular in size. This variety is known for its higher protein content and slightly lower starch content. Brewers may choose 6-row barley for 1. High enzyme content. 6-row barley boasts a higher enzyme content, aiding in the breakdown of starches during mashing. This can be advantageous in recipes with adjunct grains that have lower enzyme levels. 2. Greater content flavor complexity. It can impart a slightly spicier and nuttier flavor profile to the beer due to its higher protein content. In the brewing process, the choice between 2-row and 6-row barley depends on various factors such as the beer style, desired flavor profile, and the adjuncts used in the recipe. Beers like lagers and pale ales often utilize 2-row barley for its smoother taste, while certain styles, such as some American lagers or grain-heavy recipes, might incorporate 6-row barley for its enzymatic advantages. Understanding the differences between these barley varieties allows brewers to craft diverse beer profiles, catering to a wide range of tastes and preferences among beer enthusiasts.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Straub Brewery. I know I did. It's always great knowing about good beers in certain areas. There are a number of them that I've gone through and reviewed here in my local area, and I still will review some more there too. But I did want to say, if you're ever up in the Pennsylvania area in St. Mary's, definitely go by their brewery and see what else they got. I do believe they have a couple of other things, a couple of other offerings. Pick you up some beer, right? Pick up some beer, take it back home with you. Just enjoy it. It's just a standard beer, but has a little bit different, something special that's in there, and I do like it. Anyway, so I want to say thank you for being here. Remember, subscribe. I have to get it on the right side this time. Subscribe, ring that notification bell, let yourself know whenever we have a new episode coming out. And by the way, whatever pretty girl I have on the thumbnail, I'm going to put them coming up here shortly at the end of the video, so you're not going to be left out. But I thought about that. I'm thinking, people just tap on it just to see the pretty girl. They don't look at it to see my beautiful face, that's for sure. But anyway, again, thank you for being here. I do want to say, remember, go get the beer review logbook, okay? Keep track of your beer journey. There's a lot out there, and sometimes you want to remember. I mean, it's hard for me to remember everything and all the places that I've been to and all the beers that I've had, even though I got a good memory for beer. But definitely pick this up. $8.99 off of Amazon. You can't beat it. If you're ever in the upstate of South Carolina and you visit some of our breweries, definitely check out the Upstate Ale Trail. It's a great little book. It will tell you the breweries around in the area, and you can go through, you can check them off, and you can just write down your impression of the venue. It's a really great little book there. They're free, by the way. I'm still looking to get them to do a PDF version of this book, but if you ever do happen to find one at the Total Wines, it's an exceptional little book here. It's a little tattered. That's why I had to hold the corner there. But it's an exceptional little book, and it's got an amazing amount of information. It's never going to go out of date except for some of the offerings there that they have. Anchor Steam Ale, that's no longer being produced. That's kind of a shame. But anyway, definitely see if you can get that as well. Down in the description below, I have the link for the beer score sheet, the Beer Judge Certification Beer Score Sheet. Grab that. That'll give you some information about things like your off flavors, give you some areas to write down your impressions of whatever beer, and you can fold it up, put it in your pocket, take it with you to your next beer adventure. Okay, especially if you're going to, like, I'm going to go to Southern Growl and I'm going to try their beers. I'm going to try a flight of their beers. You take a couple of these out there, you write them down, and then you come back and you put them in your logbook. How about that? So think about that. Anyhow, again, thank you for being here today. Remember, subscribe, right? Ring that notification bell. Be notified whenever we have another episode out. And I definitely want to say thank you for being here. Remember, Prost! Slancha! Chin Chin! Kanpai! Salud! And of course from America and Pennsylvania. I'm not in Pennsylvania, but hey, cheers. Happy holidays and peace, love, and beer.